Arizona Coyotes are good at this whole hockey and winning thing, Petey. Historic
Wow.
night for Clayton Keller. 6-game point streak for the Arizona Coyotes, and the Mullett Magic stays alive. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes postgame show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah here with Petey, Sean behind the scenes, Craig calling in for Mullett shortly. Petey.
So here's the thing. This team's pretty good. And we say it every show. This Calgary Flame team needs to win. They have their full roster in there. They have Huberdeau, they have Kadri. The Coyotes are playing with at least 4. I have to go check. Maybe it was 5, might even have been 6 guys from Tucson today. Backup goaltender. It literally doesn't matter. Calgary needs to win to get into the playoffs. And somehow the Coyotes continue to play like this at home. And this home Mullett Magic thing is absolutely real. Anybody that doubts it is just completely wrong, because you're talking that was their 18th win at home. 18. And I looked at it. I talked to Leah before we went on air. Who else has 18 wins at home this season? The Edmonton Oilers, heard of them. Colorado Avalanche, heard of them. The New York Rangers have 19, so 1 ahead of them. And they have Dallas Stars only have 17. So what we're saying is the Arizona Coyotes have more home wins than the Dallas freaking Stars. Mullett Magic's real. This team is real. They're fun to watch. I know they're not a playoff team, and everybody can say whatever they want to. Scoreboard. Their win. And I'm talking they beat Toronto twice, Minnesota twice at home. Tired of it. Like, oh, they're not that good, and they're lucky, and they're golden. Bullshit. They're winning. They're winning at home. 18 wins at home is top half of the league. Good for them. They played really, really well tonight. And as always, got good goaltending, but they played really well. They skated well, and they skated with these teams that are supposed to be teams that are vying for playoff spots.
I liked it. You asked Coach Cherney this morning, like, do you guys like playing spoiler to these teams trying to make the playoffs? And he said, what we like is winning.
Exactly.
I thought that was really funny. But yeah, just what a night. Lots to get into. Obviously, we'll talk about Clayton Keller's milestone night. But let's just dive into the numbers of this one and give out, I'm sure, some flowers. Oh, look, classic. Coyotes outshot 45-25. Just an unreal night. Connor Ingram, I think he made 42 or 43 saves in the end there. No real action on the special teams, but we knew coming in that Calgary is a team that has a lot of shots on goal. And another great Andre Tourigny quote from this morning was, I know they're going to have a lot of shots on goal, and I know that we aren't. And it was just the most validating thing for him to say that after we sit here night after night and say the Coyotes were outshot once again, and just the self-awareness from the coach on that I appreciated. And look, it came true. And look, the Coyotes still won. So I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, you talk about the shots on goal, Leah. This is a team that throws shots on from everywhere in the offensive zone. We knew that going in. We knew that they're second ranked in the NHL going into this game. This team shoots the puck a lot. But they also had some really, really, really high quality, high danger, grade A shots from inside the slot area and in the house. Like you go, let's go to the last 10 seconds. Last 10 seconds of this game.
Oh my God.
Like Ingram makes 2 5-alarm bell saves in the last 8 seconds of this game. Like phenomenal saves. Either one is phenomenal, and put them back to back against really good players. Huberdeau had that one off the pad. Those are great shots. The goaltender was phenomenal. So the shots on goal, we expect this, and it's for Coyote fans. It is quantity over quality, or quality over quantity. Sorry, I said it backwards. I was trying to be all dramatic, and I said it wrong. But this team is getting the puck to the net more than they have in the past. I will still wish we talk about them shooting on the power play. I wish they did that a little bit more often. But I think 5-on-5, they're delivering pucks to the net and getting people to the net more than they have in the month prior. So good for them. It was a fun hockey game to watch. Like from beginning to end, this was a really fun hockey game to watch. And we're so over the tank and the draft, and not the draft per se, because we're excited about the draft. Sorry,
the draft lottery for now.
Yeah. So the tank, gone. Let's see this team build success, and they're building something special in that room. And
Yeah.
you saw it on the broadcast where they said they love each other. They do. These guys are so they're in battle with each other, and this is phenomenal to watch them play for each other and have accountability to the guy sitting next to him in the stall, and everyone wants to do it for everybody else. So it was fantastic, and somebody else did it again tonight. We always talk about somebody else. Keller got the 2 goals and he was phenomenal, but Travis Boyd gets the winner. So it's always somebody else. Who's going to be the hero tonight? Who's going to be the star tonight? Tonight, Travis Boyd comes away with the game winning
Yeah.
goal.
And Travis Boyd, that was kind of a revenge goal from him since his goal earlier in the game got called off for goaltender interference. So that was kind of his revenge moment, if you will, to earn his 12th of the season. He's not quite on pace to hit his total last season, which was his best year. But he's really found his game as of late. So congrats to Travis Boyd, and Maccelli still got in on that one. He was in on a lot of it tonight as well.
And you talk about Boyd, Leah, last year he was the guy that played with Schmaltz and Keller for most of the season. And he hit his career high in goals and points, playing on the top line, playing in more situations. Now he's been relegated lower in the lineup. He's played bottom 6 minutes almost the entire season. And instead of pouting and going, oh, this sucks, he goes up and plays. And when he jumps over the boards, he gives you his effort. And you saw it tonight. He scores the winner in overtime, but you're right. He had the one earlier where he's throwing pucks at the net. And if not for a little bump of the goalie by Maccelli, he might have another opportunity. So it is great to see him get some success. He's another guy we root for on the program.
2 things. One, Joel pointed out, and yes, Joel, you're right. Keller did score shorthanded. So I dismissed the special teams, but I forgot about the shorthanded goal, but we'll talk about that goal here in a minute. And then Dum in the chat, these boys are going to get the TED pass all by themselves. And it's true. I mean, look at how this team has played in the city of Tempe, and this can only continue. I'm just saying. Obviously, there's a lot more to it, but on the hockey side, look at it.
And winning brings conversation, right? And we saw it this morning. Leah and I were at the ice den for the morning skate today. And who else was there? Yeah, well, 2 of the networks from in town were there. Yeah. So they're taking notice. So you're getting the local media taking notice now because they're winning. And if the media notices, then guess what? Then it'll be on the news more, and people in Tempe will be excited, and they'll vote for it, and we'll all end up benefiting. So yay.
Yay is right. Well, let's not bury the lead, PD. We need to do a whole segment on giving flowers to Clayton Keller, because what a night for him. And the reason all those news cameras were there this morning is because Clayton Keller was on the verge of a massive milestone, and he did it in 2 for 1. He scored his 30th goal of the season, the first time in his career to do so, and he scored his 70th point of the season as well. Clayton Keller now has 70 points for the Arizona Coyotes. He is the first player to do so since Ray Whitney in what year, PD? 2011-12.
11-12.
It all comes back to that season.
11-12. There's so many things that come back to that 11-12 season. And we have another one coming back to the 11-12 because I think Keller also got over 30 goals tonight.
Yep. So he becomes the 5th player in franchise history to reach that 70-point mark. We have the list of the all-time Coyotes points scorers in a single season. So this was obviously not updated yet, but Clayton Keller is now on that list. Other players on that list, heard of them? Keith Tkachuk, Jeremy Roenick, Shane Doan, Ray Whitney.
That's it.
Heard of him?
That is quite a list to join. That is unbelievable list to join on a team. Again, that we say this team is supposed to be a team that's on the bottom third of the league, and yet here they are getting a player with points higher than what we said, 2012. These are playoff teams. When you look at that list, I don't know if any of them are Shane Doan's 2008-9 is a non-playoff team. But other than that, like, these are playoff teams. Like, honestly, literally speechless about how well and how impressive what Clayton Keller is doing right now. It's just amazing.
Yep. So now he's already cemented his 70th and his 71st. So right now chasing 80 to be the second player to do so since Keith Tkachuk, who is the only Coyotes player ever to do it. And you mentioned also 30 goals, first player since Radim Verbata in again 2011-12. And here's the list of players who have surpassed that 30 goal mark. Again, it's a very short list of guys: Keith Tkachuk, Radim Bravada, Jeremy Roenick, Danny Briere, Mike Gartner, Shane Doan, Mike Comrie. So
again, you go back to 2012, Leah. This is the most home wins since 2012. This is the most points by a player since 2012. The most goals by a player since 2012.
That was 11 years ago.
That's a long time ago. And it's funny, between those two time periods, between 11-12 and now 22-23, there were a lot of teams that were trying to make the playoffs. And they were built to make the playoffs. And they didn't get this kind of offense production out of their team. And this team, we've said it over the summer, this team was built to finish towards the bottom of the league. And they're just throwing a big FU to management and ownership and showing, yeah, okay, really? We're not supposed to win? Well, guess what? Boy, howdy.
Yeah, boy, howdy is right. $9.31 super chat from Charles. I'm assuming 9 for Keller, 31 for 31 goals. Let me know if I'm correct. Said, so happy to see Keller finally get that 30 goal mark tonight. What an incredible season from number 9. You are absolutely
CWP
right.
is so clever.
I know.
Like, he's always got there's always a meaning behind his super chat.
I know, it's so true. But do you know how old Clayton Keller was in 2011 and 2012?
I don't.
In 2012, he was 13 years old.
Do you know what? How old is he now then? He's 24. He's
24
years old. We talk about Clayton Keller like he's 30. The kid's 24 years old. He is a kid in this league. He's 24. And so the rebuild is real, and there are some really good, talented players coming in. Clayton Keller now is a 30-goal scorer in the National Hockey League, and he's 24. Who else has 31 goals in the National Hockey League this season? Austin Matthews. Heard of him?
And Keller has 30 points since February 5th. And we mentioned this every show, but it's worth mentioning again that trails only Connor McDavid in that span. So we also mentioned that he was the first star of the week this week for the NHL. And a player hasn't been the first star of a week. A Coyotes player hasn't been the first star of a week since 2012.
2012, you guessed it. Hard to believe, since 2012. Unbelievable.
So the connections to 2012, just the only thing that's different is the Coyotes are not making the playoffs. There's no magical run happening here for them.
Well,
but
I know you never know. I guess if they go into no, I don't think they can do it. It's absolutely impressive what he's doing. But it's funny when we talked to Andre earlier today. Some of the things Andre mentioned is the reasoning why is because he's learned to play an all-around 200-foot complete game, and they think that the coaching staff really believes that that's part of his success offensively is his ability to play defense. And the other thing is he's not a liability to be on the ice anymore. And you go back even 2 years ago, you wouldn't put Clayton Keller on the ice if there's a situation where you were ahead by a goal protecting a lead, or a defensive zone faceoff, or last minute of a game up by a goal. You wouldn't put Clayton Keller on the ice, but now you can. Because not only is he is an offensive threat, but he can defend. He's going to pick pockets of opposing players that have the puck. Like he has changed his game, and his compete level is so much, like, it's consistent, it's elite. Like when he jumps over the boards, he wants a puck, and he fights for the puck. He digs for the puck. He knows where the puck's going to be. He's just evolved so much in this particular season, coming off of a horrific injury. We talked about that too. No training camp, no preseason games, no workout over the summer, and to do what he's doing right now it's phenomenal. And he's a guy I said a year ago, and I'll say this on the show. I said a year ago he had a contract that they can't trade. They're paying him too much. He's untradeable. Well, I was wrong, because right now this kid can play, and they're not only is his contract that I said was too much for him. The Coyotes are getting a bargain with that contract. He's earned every penny and then some, and he's an all-star for a reason. And when you say second in points since the All-Star break, Leah, he's ahead of Nathan McKinnon right now. Like these numbers, realize these numbers are for a team that doesn't score a lot. That's what makes it even more impressive. The Edmonton Oilers score more goals than any other team in the National Hockey League, so you get it. And Arizona doesn't do that. So to have a guy who's putting up these kind of numbers with their offensive output is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's incredible. And like you mentioned yesterday when we talked about Keller being the first star of the week, he also is making his line mates better. And we've talked a ton about the chemistry between him and Schmaltz. Well, with Schmaltz out of the lineup, Barrett Hayton is like the Keller and Hayden is the new Keller and Schmaltz at this rate. They're just unbelievable together. He's just gelling with anyone thrown on his line. Brett Ritchie getting points the other night with Keller. It's just he's elevating everyone around him, and that's what a great player does.
Yeah, and you said it. Like what Hayton has been able to do with him, and Hayton was kind of the forgotten line mate when he was with Schmaltz because Hayton was just the one digging out the puck and getting to the net. Now he's getting those points, and now it's Ritchie. Ritchie, I tell you what, he's noticeable. He's quick on his feet. He's a big enough body to separate guys from the puck, and he's been a really good addition in the absence of Schmaltz, and he fit right in. And he's a guy he's getting fourth line minutes in Calgary, in and out of the lineup, and now he's playing first line for the Coyotes. And they're winning. It's amazing.
It's unreal. Well, there was a no-brainer, even when he had just scored his 30th and got in his 70th point, but then he capped it off with an unreal shorthanded goal as well, which, by the way, what an unreal play. All the way down the ice, looked like he was going to pass to Hayden, shot it, bingo, in the net. Just unreal. And his other goal as well was a beauty. It was just, they weren't gross goals. They were both amazing goals. And for that reason, and all the reasons we just said for the last few minutes, Clayton Keller, of course, is tonight's DraftKings king of the game as he reached that 70-point plateau or that mark. And hopefully it's only up from here. And now it's onward to 80, which is very, very doable. Clayton effing Keller. You'll love to see it. Absolutely love to see it.
Phenomenal. And you know what? He's a guy you can root for. And you see the exuberance and excitement in this team on the bench and the coaching staff and the players. You can't help but root for him. And I know that it was we didn't know where this team was going to be. And a year ago, Leah, I remember doing these shows. It wasn't this. This is they're fun to watch. They're never out of a game, and they're beating teams that are trying to make the playoffs. So never say never on who they play and when they play them, as long as it's at the Mullett.
Yep, absolutely. I'm mad at myself though, PD, because today I was gonna take out the DraftKings Sportsbook app and bet on Keller to score because I just felt it. Like he just had to. And I didn't, and I regret it. But we did see some people in our Discord live bet Coyotes money line. They're riding the Sean train. Sean, give me a thumbs up if you live bet the Coyotes money line tonight. He did.
He did again.
Things you love to see. Listen, it's been really fun betting on this team this year. And you can do that, or you can bet on March Madness, which is already in full swing. So just lots to bet on DraftKings right now. So sign up using that code PHNX, and new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code PHNX. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. PD, once again, we're at home, and much to my dismay, we cannot roll in the Circle K draft cart.
Not the draft cart, the snack cart.
You know what? Draft's on my mind.
I know it is. It's on a lot of people's minds. It's on Bill Armstrong's mind, for sure.
The snack cart, that is. But a bunch of us were enjoying. I was at the office today. We were enjoying some snacks. Charles is all over the salt and vinegar chips I saw on Twitter. And
that was phenomenal, by
Charles,
the way.
after you sent that tweet, I went and got a bag of the salt and vinegar chips from the snack cart. So we're really excited to be partnered up with our friends at Circle K. And everybody right now, listen, take out your phone, okay? And this is what you're going to do, because we've teamed up with them for an amazing giveaway opportunity. You're going to text PHNX to 31310 for an opportunity to win a $500 gas gift card. I'm going to say it again. Text PHNX to 31310 for an opportunity to win a $500 gas gift card. See the show notes for details. All right. Before Craig gets here, PD, let's go over your keys and see how they did.
Let's be physical. Did we see the hits? Fits were on the numbers. There were 39-39. I was expecting a fight at times here because it was
JJ really Mosier almost got in a fight.
So they get that one. No penalties. Well, they had a couple of penalties, but they did not give up anything while they were shorthanded versus last game when they gave up 3 power play goals to these Flames just a few weeks ago in Mullett. So that one, Ingram, are you kidding? We just talked about how many unbelievable saves he made. So 3 dings, and what does that equal, Leah?
A Coyotes win.
A Coyotes win. They checked off all 3 keys to the game, and they win the game.
LFG. And yeah, I know we talked about Connor Ingram already. I just don't want him to get lost in the Keller night, because what a performance by him. Just absolutely unbelievable. And I also want to talk about Matias Maccelli for a second, because he scored his 6th of the season. It's hard to believe it's only his 6th goal. I know we talked about his, maybe lack of shooting. He's kind of a pass first guy, but he's been scoring more as of late. That Krause Maccelli McBain line has just been clicking. He also assisted on the overtime winner as well. It just seemed like he was really all over it tonight.
Yeah, again, he continues to impress as an ability to move the puck and find guys through seams and make plays. The no-look passes are impressive, but that shot, that was a really good shot, and we keep saying he needs to shoot more. Well, I think he will. He took a shot later in the game after he scored that goal, and I think his confidence is growing on that. I still think he feels his ability to make plays and make passes is elite, and it's his best skill. So I think that's why he defers so much to his passes. But I think you're going to see him shoot more. He was outstanding. And lastly, I know we touched Ingram a lot too, but the last thing I want to say about Connor Ingram is his ability not only to make those great saves, he just makes it look easy. It's effortless. It's like, it just hit me. Like, he's calm, he's steady, he's square. He is just completely relaxed out there and fun to watch. So both those two absolutely deserve their flowers.
Absolutely. Well, let's bring in Craig, and I'm guessing he talked to some of these guys after the game. Craig, how you doing?
Leah, is this another hostage video?
It is, but I did change to a different corner. I felt like it might have been a little less hostagey looking than last time.
We do have similar wall colors though, so it is. I do.
We still do look like we're in the same room.
Are you able to show us your hands, or are they taped to the chair?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, we talked to Matias Maccelli, who, yes, Petey, is thinking about shooting more, because when I asked him about it, he goes, well, everybody's telling me I need to do it. So
did you tell him Carcone wants him to text him back, or no?
No, it wasn't the place for it with a group of people. But if the Coyotes ever practice again, I might tell them that day.
Yeah, but if they ever,
I don't think.
Why would they
practice again?
Why would they? All they do is win.
Seriously, Andre Tourigny for Jack Adams.
Yeah.
Start the movement. I mean,
Keller for Hart.
Keller
Maccelli for Calder.
30 points since the All-Star game.
Ingram for
the milestones. I'm sure you've talked to me. Yeah, Connor Ingram. How about the saves right at the end of regulation? Are you
Those
kidding
two back
me?
To back. Yeah.
43
Unreal.
saves, and we're deciding who to request. I didn't even request Connor Ingram today. He made 43 saves. Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Their goaltending is just doing this all the time now.
Yeah, it's typical.
Did you talk to Keller, Craig?
Yes,
because
we did talk to Clayton Keller.
This morning, someone said, "Oh, like, you're going to reach that 30 goal mark," and he said, "Talk to me when I do." So you talked to him when he did. What did he have to say?
Yeah, he deferred a lot to teammates and coaches, but I asked him, "Have you been thinking about this?" And he was honest. He's like, "Look, it's pretty hard not to think about those numbers, especially," he's like, "when you ask me every time you talk to me."
He's so over it.
So he said he did say that it was really nice to get that goal early in the game so I could stop thinking about it. So obviously now I'm going to start mentioning that he has 80 points in his sights so he can pass Keith Tkachuk, who, by the way, is a good friend of his. I mean, the St. Louis connection. So we'll see. I'm not saying it's not happening at this point with the way he's going right now. Could he get to 86 points by the end of the season? 30 points in 18 games since the All-Star break. He is on fire, just on fire.
Yeah, 80 looks well within his reach at this point. Like, I'm not even, like, barring any injury, knock on wood. Yeah. Like, he's the pace that he's performing.
Injuries?
Like, at this,
I wonder if anybody's asked him about that recently.
You know.
Yeah. But it shouldn't be discounted what he did overcome to have the season that he's having. That's the only thing I'll say.
No doubt.
He is fun to watch. I tell you, like, he on the forechecker, his competitive nature, trying to get the puck back, and we said this last time. That's what a goal scorer does. They act like the puck is a dog on a bone, and that's the way Clayton Keller is playing right now. And I don't think. Of course, these guys know where they're at in the standings. They read the paper if there was a paper, but
they read Twitter.
They read Twitter. They know where they're at.
They read gophnx.com.
Exactly.
They're all diehard.
That's not a paper, but yeah, they read Go Paycheck. Craig's articles, but they know that, but they still compete, and that's what makes this team so exciting and so fun to watch is their ability to compete, and they don't quit. And again, this is a team they could have easily quit against. They're physical. They get to the net hard. They shoot the puck all the time. They were all over the Coyotes. They could quit, but they just don't. It's absolutely incredible.
They are motivated to screw up other teams' chances. They are motivated to screw up their own team's lottery chances. It's all on their mind. They're just like, they're loving this right now. Couple things. Clayton Keller, we talked so much about his offense, but we've also talked about his complete game. There was a play where the puck turned over just inside the offensive blue line. Tyler Toffoli's coming the other way. Keller, I mean, he was just gunning it to get back. And just at the last minute, as Toffoli's about to shoot, he lifts his stick and just disrupts the entire play. Those are the kind of plays you just didn't see from Clayton Keller a couple seasons ago, and now he's just doing it with regularity. He's become a complete player.
I'm going to bring something back you mentioned, Craig, is when you talked about this team not practicing, we kind of said it in jest, that they don't practice. And I will say this for the coach, Andre Tournier, and his ability, that's a gutsy call to not practice. And I tell you, I've been around coaches a long time, and when you're winning, they think you got to practice because you got to keep winning. If you're losing, you got to practice because you got to get better. So everybody's afraid to not practice. These guys play a lot of hockey games. What are we on, game 60? I don't know, a lot. They've played a lot of games.
Yes, it will be 69, Petey.
Yeah,
so
they've played a lot of games, right? And so they need rest. And this is another thing that proves that, but coaches don't have the guts to make that call to go, oh, these guys need rest. We need a day off. Andre's been doing that for weeks now. And guess what? They're winning. And it's just take note, coaches around the league, that guys need rest and they play better when you reward them and when you give them a carrot instead of a stick. Okay, move on.
A carrot instead of a stick. I like
wow.
that. Yeah. 18 wins on home ice now. How many teams in the Western Conference have more home wins than the Coyotes?
3. We went over them.
It's actually 4, but.
Oh.
Yeah, we went 3 that were randomly because Dallas was below them.
So that's just crazy, guys. And they have 9 games left in this building. 9 games left in this building.
Crazy.
We were talking about 70 points. Are you kidding me? They're going to blow past 70 points. They might have 75 points, but they might catch Ottawa. They might have back-to-back picks.
Ottawa is on the slide right now. Yeah,
they are, baby.
Watch them just pass each other. And
can you imagine that if they finished ahead of Ottawa?
Oh, my God.
That would be hilarious.
Want to play for a winner.
Listen, the next 2 teams in their sights, is anybody betting against the Coyotes catching those 2 teams? I am like, when I look at the standings now, I'm thinking 9th worst record. That's where they're going to finish.
Well, Vancouver got to win tonight. Vancouver gets a win tonight.
There was a lot of like tank significant.
Yeah, that could have helped them once again if they cooperate ever.
Montreal won. Chicago won. Columbus, San Jose went to overtime. Vancouver won. So the only one there that didn't happen was Philadelphia lost. But at this point, HK, we're not really checking that part of the standings anymore. But just as far as, I mean, I was, even I just said we weren't, but I was. I'm more checking on Ottawa these days. But it was an interesting night for the bottom half of the standings.
Can you package the 9th and 10th picks for the number 2 overall? Is that possible? Did anybody do that? No, they wouldn't.
No, I don't think so. Not this year.
Not this year.
Can they catch Ottawa?
That'd be a tall order, but
yeah.
I mean, what if Ottawa loses, faith? If they're on the skids here and
they lost 3 in a row.
Yeah, and it might mentally, when you look up and you see, oh God, we're not catching them, you might lose some steam.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, that would be an unbelievable run if they caught Ottawa. You don't want to see that, but
the other thing that could happen is if Ottawa doesn't make the playoffs, they still can move up in the lottery.
Sure.
You don't want them to move up too far, though. I mean,
you don't want to move up. You don't want to move up in the top 5, but
yeah. So you want them at 16 is really where you want them. Otherwise, you don't want them to move up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anywho.
Anyway.
Well, speaking of teams on the bubble of trying to make it, let's go to the other side for a second.
The Coyotes? Oh, I thought we were talking about the Coyotes.
The Calgary Flames, they needed to win this game. What are they going to do? What are the Flames going to do if they don't make the playoffs?
hate to say it. Petey's been saying it for a while, but
Yeah, I think they're going to have to make a change with their general manager, and I don't know if the coach can survive either.
coaches sign beyond it. I guess it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
he's the only one that's signed.
Yeah.
And Brad Treliving, friend of the program, is not signed.
You can't bring a new general manager in and then say, oh yeah, Daryl Sutter's staying. That's not happening. GMs get to choose their own coaches, so I'm guessing if they miss the playoffs, which it really looks like they're going to do, you blow it out. And then
I would think so too. The owner is really friendly with the coach, so you never know. But they're 5 points out, Craig, and 5 points at this time of year when you have to jump over Nashville to get there, and then you have to jump over either Winnipeg or Seattle. So you got to jump over 2 teams down by 5 points. Oof, it's tough. You've only won 3 games in regulation in your last 10. That's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, tough sledding for Calgary. Once again, the Coyotes continue to play spoiler for a lot of playoff teams or bubble playoff teams.
And now you've got 2 very winnable games coming up in these next 2 games of Vancouver and Chicago.
Yeah.
I mean, does anybody believe the Coyotes are going to win these 2 games?
No. Like
that'll be 20 home wins if they win these 2 games before they go on the road. 20.
I will say this, the Vancouver Canucks have won 5 straight, but we said that Minnesota came in here with points in 12 and they lost. So who knows about the Vancouver
Guys,
Canucks?
Just look behind me. Look at this little place behind me.
The Magic.
Who imagined that this place
20 wins
would be the thing that ruins
the little arena that could.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Seriously.
That's what ruined the tank. It is.
That's it.
It's the freaking mullet.
Mullet magic.
Mullet magic.
Real. Yeah, Trey, mullet magic is real. Keep them there. Oh my God, Trey, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We like it as a temporary solution.
Ooh, buddy.
Oh man.
Yeah.
If you like $38 million payrolls.
Yikes. Scott said, smash the like button, pushing 100. Yes, thank you, Scott. Everybody hit the like button while you're here watching live or after. We appreciate it. One more note, we talked about how unreal Connor Ingram was tonight. Veggies continue to have amazing nights. The Coyotes recalled Ivan Prosvetov last week, and he had an unbelievable night. And much to the surprise of many, he's still here with the team. Coach Ernie said this morning that he is going to play this week. He did not specify when, and he wouldn't really get into his plan for him. He said it was internal, but they just want to continue to evaluate him, especially as he goes into next season and in a contract year. But I would hope that the game he's going to play is this next game against Vancouver on Thursday, because Tucson has games this weekend, and Tucson, as we talked about yesterday with Michael Carcone, is in a playoff push. So they need their goaltender. It's interesting that they've kept him up here, but Petey, I think you said you saw him get some one-on-one time with Corey Schwab today. So I don't know. It's an interesting situation with Prosvetov right now.
Yeah, and it's good that he's getting that one-on-one time. I like that side of it, and I want to get your thoughts on this, Petey, because if he plays Thursday and then goes down to Tucson, you're like, okay, he can play the second game against Calgary down in Tucson, and maybe you're still okay. But what Andre said today, I'm not even certain if he's going back after that. Are they going to keep him around longer? And if so, it doesn't make sense to me. I get that you want to get a look at him. It's great that he's getting some time with Corey Schwab. But when you tell people that you care about making the playoffs in Tucson, that you want those guys to play in meaningful games, and then you take the number 1 goalie when you don't need to, when you have 2 guys are doing what Connor Ingram and Karel Vejmelka are doing up here, doesn't make a lot of sense. Petey, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, no, I'm confused too. I think I get it, Craig. They're talking about evaluating an asset that they have to make a decision on over the summer. Understood. But you have an opportunity for this team in Tucson to play meaningful games late into a season that they haven't done. They didn't make the playoffs last year. This is an opportunity for them to make the playoffs, and they need their goaltender to do that. Those are meaningful games to me to get a look at him. I got the sense too from the interview this morning that he will get a game. He said this week, which leaves you the Thursday or Saturday, but it didn't sound like there was an intent to move him down. Even after that, it was more like, well, we've got a long-term plan here and we got to see what we have. And you got to look at next week. In the middle of the week, there's a back-to-back. So does he stay through the back-to-back? Well, now you're looking at, they have a real important series on Tuesday, Wednesday down in Tucson against Ontario Reign. It's a huge series.
Yeah.
I don't know. And now we're starting to look at, now we're messing with the playoff chances down there. Maybe you should have brought Prosvetov up at the beginning of the season, and I don't know, maybe managed them differently, because now you're hurting that team, helping this team, but which one needs more help?
So let me ask you this too, like, because I know you talked to him this morning, Leah, and Andre talked about his waiver situation. When they come into camp next season, they got 3 goalies, and you got to send one down to Tucson. And if you re-sign Connor Ingram, you assume it's Ivan Prosvetov, and if he's not waivers exempt anymore, then you got to pass him through waivers to someone claim him. So I guess that's what this is about as much as anything. Okay, can he be the backup at least? Can he be the 1B next season? Because if you don't think that, then what are you doing with Ivan Prosvetov? Because you might lose him in waivers next season, which would be crazy, right? This guy that you drafted and thought was your goalie of the future. But then what do you do with Connor Ingram? I guess if you think, are you really going to get a feel, first of all, that Ivan Prosvetov is ready by getting him 2 more starts late in this season? I don't know if you are. And then what are you doing with those other 2 goalies if you think he is going to be your backup? Are you going to try and move one of them at the draft? I'm really curious how this whole thing is going to play out.
Yeah, I'm puzzled too. And I'll be honest, since we got into this discussion, I'll make it brief. I'm puzzled at why they picked up Connor Ingram off of waivers. Then, if the plan isn't to keep him again for another season, and it was just a rental player for this season, and this season was a tank season, then I don't know what the urgency was to pick up Connor Ingram for the remainder of this season. Then, if I'm questioning it.
Unless you're looking to move one of these guys at the draft. Yeah. That's the only thing I can think of. If you have, the way Connor Ingram is playing right now, you feel pretty comfortable going into the season with either one of these guys. But maybe, you test the market on these 2 guys and see what the offer is. I would think that the value for a Karel Vejmelka would be higher just because of the greater body of evidence. But the way Ingram has played since that start, he's been fantastic.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Well, all this goalie talk is kind of a prelude for what our show is going to be about tomorrow. We're really excited to be joined by Kevin Woodley, who's the co-owner of In Goal Magazine. That's tomorrow's show, Wednesday at 11 a.m. We're going to talk all things goalie, just the state of goaltending in the NHL. Of course, we're going to talk about reverse VH. We'll dive a little bit deeper into Veggie and Ingy as well, and get his thoughts. He also covers the Vancouver Canucks, so we'll do a little preview of that game as well. But really looking forward to talking to Kevin Woodley tomorrow.
Side note, we're going to learn about panda technique.
Interesting.
What? Panda technique. Can we get like a kung fu panda? No, we can't use it.
I'm all in. Let's try something new. If it's something new, I'm in, because we need something new.
You want to hear about panda technique? Do you know what panda technique is?
I know. Well, I want to find out tomorrow.
Learn.
Don't tell people today.
I want to know. Well, I'm not even going to give it away, because the way he described it, what made me laugh out loud.
I don't know what it is, and so I'm not even going to Google it. I want to find out tomorrow.
Yeah, let's keep it fresh.
Cheat.
Okay, I won't. Kevin Woodley, he's the goalie guru. I've been going to him for years. He has every goalie coach in the NHL and probably in the world, in the hockey world, on speed dial. He's just so well connected on this topic, and he's going to bring all that knowledge tomorrow. I love talking goaltending with this guy.
Yep, really looking forward to that one. We need a full goalie episode. There's too many goalies, though. I'm always outnumbered by the goalies.
There's going to be some heat in this one. I'm concerned. I know he does. Kevin likes the reverse VH, and I think if you've listened to our show, I don't.
I can promise you right now, for our viewers, every show after we get off, we're like, okay, what should we clip to put out? Which segments? I can guarantee you that we'll have a Steve Peters versus Kevin Woodley segment that we will clip. We might even have to come up with a title for it and just go to a Peters and Woodley, like a 2-shot, and just take us off screen, Leah.
I love it. I'm
fired up, and I've never even talked to or met the man, and I am telling you, I am fired up because it's going to be hard to convince me otherwise. I'm telling you, it's going to be hard.
Love it. All right, Craig.
Sorry.
Well, any final thoughts before we let you go?
No, just in disbelief still. Just in disbelief for how they play in this building.
Us too. All right, Craig. Well, looking forward to seeing you tomorrow to talk to Kevin.
All right, guys. See you tomorrow.
All right. Bye, Craig. Yeah, just an unreal stretch of games. No words. No more words. No more thoughts. But plenty of Four Peaks. Petey, the weather has been so nice lately. Like, it makes me crave beer.
Yeah, it's
Like,
good beer drinking weather.
Just, oh man. And then March Madness, we had March Madness on in the office today, and everyone was like, I just want to drink a beer. And everybody was like, cracked open Four Peaks.
There
We got
you
the
go.
hazies flowing. Like, there's just something about this time of year that's just perfect. A perfect time for Four Peaks. And St. Patty's Day, it's this Friday. If you're looking for some plans, besides Craig's house, the best place to spend St. Patty's Day is at the Four Peaks 8th Street Pub. So head there, enjoy a damn good time. I know I'm going to be bringing Four Peaks to Craig's St. Patty's Day party. Might even stop at the 8th Street Pub on my way. But to drink, you must be 21 years or older to enjoy responsibly. I also haven't asked Craig what to bring yet to his party, but I might see if I can bring some chips and a Legal Pete's queso because we already know
that would be popular.
That it's a crowd pleaser.
Yes.
Just based on the feedback that everyone here and in the chat, I know has gone to Illegal Pete's and tried it, but everybody has had nothing but good things to say about the Illegal Pete's queso, as well as their margs and just their food in general. And especially with March Madness going on right now, nothing cures that. My bracket is busted in the first round feeling like fresh limes, tequila, and sweet agave. So you can try out an Illegal Pete's coin premium or frozen margarita. Stop by for happy hour. It's 3 to 6 p.m. every single day. You gotta love it. I don't want to miss it. We did get our nightly super sticker from Shane. It was an interesting one tonight. Pear character and baby lemon getting housed at a bar. That doesn't feel real. Did he write that? Is that a real thing?
No, that sounds made up. I don't know, and I usually lean over to look at your screen to see what that sticker would look like, but I don't have that luxury tonight, so
Nope.
I don't know.
Did
you see what Chris Herrick asked about Schmaltzy's return?
No, any timeline. He said day to day.
He said day to day, but didn't skate today, before or after. They're not practicing probably tomorrow. That would, for me, this is not the team. I would be surprised to see him play Thursday. It's day to day, but I would be surprised to see him play Thursday. I just think that you'd want to get him in a full practice before then. So,
but PD, I'm upset because
yes.
So Thursday, if you didn't know, we're doing a live watch along. So even if you're going to the game, you can pull us up on your phone. PD and I will be watching along with you on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel, the Coyotes game versus the Vancouver Canucks. And we have a lot of really fun stuff planned for the watch along, graphics, elements, sounds, potentially some special guests. Sean and I, for weeks, have been planning a song that we were going to pre-record, and it involved Keller and Schmaltz assisting each other on goals. And now it's looking like Schmaltz is not going to play on Thursday. Maybe. And we can't use the songs, and we're really upset about it.
Did you actually record it yet?
We didn't, but we did have the moment today of, no.
We have to do that.
We've been practicing, much to everybody's dismay.
Oh my God. See, but that's what, and when people think about watch along, like if people have done it, they know the Manning cast watch along, so they understand the concept. We are going to, we're going to have fun. That's first. That's a given.
Like
we're going
games
to have fun.
As we go.
Where games go, I'm going to do the whiteboard sitting there for sure.
PD's Puck Talk Live.
PD's Puck Talk Live, and we did get approval today to play a little game during the live watch, and we're going to play Tyson Nash Bingo. So stay tuned. I think we'll probably release the card. We talked to the team. We talked to Tyson, and we're expecting some Tyson Nash bingo live during the game Thursday. So have your 4 peaks handy. And when he says back of the net, everybody drinks. So we'll see.
Back of the net should be the free space.
Yeah, free space back of the net. So anyway, we are going to have some fun. So if you want a second screening experience and just hang out with us, and we'll have our snacks and our drinks, and we're going to have fun and talk hockey and other things.
And other things. Can't wait. Really can't wait. Well, Petey, we already talked about the next 2 games, the Canucks and the Blackhawks. Oh my goodness. But let's see what else is on tap for the Coyotes coming up. They're finally going on the road, so maybe they'll lose on the road. Maybe. Winnipeg, Edmonton, and Colorado. 3 really tough opponents, 3 playoff teams. I don't know, but at this point, I can't even guess anymore. I got nothing.
Well, the one thing, though, about this road trip, Leah, and it's interesting, is they have not played more than 1 game consecutively on the road since the 2nd week in February.
Wow.
When they played 3 games on a road trip, February 10, 11, and 13. Other than that, it's been a couple of 1-game trips. So they haven't done this in a while. And this is going to be hard because they're good teams back-to-back in cold cities. And yes, by the way, it's still cold in Winnipeg and Edmonton, and teams that are really fighting for playoff positioning and playoff spots. And then down to Colorado, which again, tough building to play in. You look at we talk about the altitude. You can talk about a team that's really fighting for playoff spots too. They want to get home ice. So this road trip is different, I think, than when we see the last few times where they played one and done on the road. The 3-game road trip, because this could be tough for them. They're going to need to rely on their goaltending, and I think with the back-to-back, you'll see both of their goalies. Maybe that's where you see Prosvetov again, but I think this is a tough road trip for them. That's why they're going to have to make hay while they can with these last 2 home games.
Absolutely. Petey, do you have any final thoughts on this game?
You know what, Leah, I'm thrilled for Clayton Keller. I think him getting 30 and 31, you could see the relief almost on his face when he put it in for 30. Fantastic goals. He's playing extremely well. Can't wait to see where his season takes him in the list of Coyote greats this year, that he's going to be able to accomplish some of those things. So I'm excited to watch that. And I'm a believer now. This team just plays hard. It doesn't matter how many guys from the Roadrunners are in the lineup, or who's in the lineup, or where they play in the lineup. When they put the sweater on, they play hard. And that's a testament to this coaching staff. And I'm a believer.
It's unreal. It's really unreal. And listen, the time leading up to the draft lottery, it's going to be stressful. I might need to even take OGs before the draft lottery. Yeah. That could be a really entertaining show.
Actually, that's not a bad idea.
But OGs has something for any need to relax, to unwind, to get to sleep. They have sleep edition gummies. They have microdose gummies. So anything you're looking for, OGs has. We love them. They're a local brand, scratch made, and their new strawberries and cream Happy Balance gummies are live on the shelves. So check those out. And as always, you can find them at your local dispensary by checking out ogsbrands.com. You must be 21 or older to enjoy. And listen, we talk about Mullett Magic almost every night. If you want to experience that for yourself, get to a game. We're here. It's the final month of the season right now. The Coyotes are home a lot. So check out the Game Time app to get your tickets. You can go to Suns games, concerts, shows. I feel like everyone's announcing concerts right now. It's that time of year in the summer. But get out to Mullett if you haven't been. It's a blast, and Game Time truly is the cheapest place to buy your tickets. You can get tickets to all the baseball things going on right now, the World Baseball Classic. I know Chris, one of our diehards, went yesterday with tickets she bought on Game Time. So you can save up to 60% on tickets when you buy last minute. And the best way to support us is by using the link below in the description. All right, well, that's it from us. Everybody in the chat, thank you. Please like this button. Please like the like button. Listen, I'm tired, okay? It's been a long day. I'm just stumbling over my words here at the end. But we appreciate everybody, and we hope to see you tomorrow as we talk to Kevin Woodley. All things goalie. Once again, 3 goalies and me. This seems to happen again and again. But, it'll be fun. So looking forward to it. Oh, look, the Coyotes are off tomorrow.
There you go. Just got the email.
There
you go. Big surprise.
They'll never practice again. But anyway, subscribe to PHNX Sports on YouTube. There's always a ton of stuff going on, not just with us, but with the Suns, the Cardinals, the D-backs, especially with their season going, ASU, U of A, March Madness is here. So become a diehard at gophnx.com, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and follow PHNX Sports on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, whatever social media you use. Follow PHNX Sports. Before we head out, we have to look at the punch card, of course. How could I forget? Well, they've already reached their record for a line just over halfway through the line. So 4 wins on this line already with 4 games to go. This could be a record.
Against 2 winnable games coming up at home. This is a punch card record on the way.
Yep. Wild. Absolutely wild. Well, we'll continue to talk about it all. Yeah, we're approaching 11 o'clock. So we'll continue to talk about it all, obviously, and on Twitter as well when we're not live. So you can follow each of us at S. Hockey, at Leah Merrill, at Craig S. Morgan. Follow Sean at Sean_DePaz. You can follow our show at PHNX_Coyotes. Have a great rest of your night, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.